What is up, everybody? Today, trade cap for August 19th, 2026. And today, I take one trade on Tesla for around a $5,100 day. So, absolutely solid day. And I'm going to be going over in depth the setup I used, right? What the market did today and what opportunities there were, right? So, this video will be very informative, right? And yeah, I mean, these are not beginner videos. Like, if you're a beginner in trading, and beginner's a vague term in trading, right? But right, like a beginner really means like someone that doesn't know anything, right? Doesn't know what fair value gap is or block levels. And that's the majority of the people that are watching these videos, right? Maybe not my videos because like I'm low-key irrelevant, but like other videos, guys, trading is not a beginner type of thing. You will not understand these things unless you have prior knowledge, some prior foundation. So have that prior foundation, then come back to these videos. Then you will learn 10 times more. You'll have 10 times more absorption than when you don't know shit, right? So anyways, enough yapping, right? Let's talk about what the hell happened today, right? So yeah, let me first go over the alerts, right? And then we'll go kind of in depth, right? So no pre-market game plan, 908, crazy move on Apple, right? So guys, there were two A plus opportunities today, right? Apple, which I missed, right? Which I even said I missed, right? And then Tesla, which happened later in the day. So two very solid opportunities coming in today, right? Two names that are showing clear relative strength, which is what I always look for, right? But yeah, so yeah, 930, watching Tesla here, smaller size, but if Q can reclaim previous day high, this can rip. So I actually meant to say previously low level, right? But pretty much when that called. So 929, right? What's happening on QQ, right? So QQ at 929 is right near previously low level. So what I want to see QQ here reclaim this previously low level, which is also pre-market low. Yeah. So I want to see QQ reclaim this key level, this higher time frame key level, and then kind of shift the momentum to the upside, right? That's what I want to see on QQ. And if that can happen, right, then Tesla that's already at high day can even show a bigger pop because this was already showing relative strength. So if if Tesla's already at high day while QQ has low of day, right, QQ can reclaim and show strong buyers. I expect Tesla to show even a stronger pop, right? So that was pretty much the thesis around this play. That's why Tesla on watch, right? So 934 Tesla calls on watch, right? 934, what's literally happening? That retest I'm looking for on Tesla, right? So literally have my zone marked out here, which had three confluences stacked up. I'm not gonna go over these three confluences, right? Either you watch my recaps and know, or you just, it's over for you, right? But yeah, very like whoa, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an alert type of guy, even though I do give alerts out, right? It's more of kind of what names to watch, what names not to watch, what like what I'm looking at, right? I don't want to be like an alert type of guy. Technically you can, but like I'm never gonna condone that, right? Because you're never gonna be profitable long term following some dude, right? That's some lame shit, right? Like maybe short term you can make some quick money, but you're eventually gonna blow your own money you make for following someone else. That's just how every even I've done it. That's just how it goes, right? Because you're not gonna know what the fuck you're doing. It's just common sense, you know. But anyways, 935 in Tesla calls, right? We had that 934 candle as confirmation off that zone, and then just instant delivery to the hive day. Instant delivery to the hive day, which is absolutely insane, right? And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I think you have a screenshot, but yeah, that's pretty much the trade on the recap. Now let's talk about what I was looking at, right? So Tesla showing relative strength, call that out, right? What I want to see here is I just want to see Tesla show a strong reaction either at this fair value gap or this aura block, right? Or this zone. So I waited for this entire zone because I wanted to see this kind of strong price action at that 934. I want to see some sort of buy step up here. And once I saw this buy step up here, think about it. So guys, you have to understand price action, right? So what ends up happening is buyers, right? So sellers bring the price all the way back down, and then buyers aggressively bring the price back up, and we end up closing above my zone. So this shows that strong buyers are stepping up here, right? And that's the simple way of trying to explain wicks, right? Like kind of very simple way in how I kind of interpret wicks, you know? Sellers brought the price back down, buyers aggressively bought the price back up and closed the price back up above my zone. This shows that buyers are in the zone, so I can safely enter calls at the next candle open. Stop loss is simply going to be below the zone, right? And it's just a good risk to reward trade, right? Because we already showed a reaction buyers at that zone. QQ is now reclaiming our previous day low level, right? We have confluence of indices, we have confluence of the retest, we have confluence of that zone where strong buyers should step up. So if the trade comes back down, if you're breaking back below, then I'm gonna be wrong and there's no buyers or no momentum, right? If we do show a reaction, then this is where I expect the reaction, that momentum to appear, right? Off the zone, right? This zone, right, is simply going to be our previously high area, our farm range high, and a fair value gap, right? And also you can technically say, right, this 340 150, which is technically a level as well, but but yeah. So you have like fucking four confluences, and yeah, I mean, end of the day, you can add all the confluence, all the bullshit, but what really ends up mattering is your risk reward, right? Your risk reward really what ends up mattering. So yeah, I mean, the risk reward is absolutely insane on this trade, right? Like besides like we actually did end up hitting final objective on this trade end of day, but right, like my actually main target was this 347. No, wasn't. What was my main target? My main target was this kind of 344.72 initially, right? But then we saw in 1 minute we're at high day, so it kind of have to adjust kind of how you're gonna manage a trade, right? But right, literally the risk reward, right, without kind of knowing momentum was already gonna be 1 to 3.5, right? Which is absolutely insane, There's a really good solid risk to reward on this trade, right? And then this ends up hitting main objective in 4 minutes. So you know this has momentum to the upside, right? So then I'm gonna target the next higher time frame objective, which is gonna be this 350, right? And then because this kind of zone between, right, this higher time frame objective and the next one is so big, where are you gonna scale? You're gonna scale at whole psychological levels, right? So we're gonna scale at 366, right? At those big pops we see on the 0-day expirations, right? So where are the big pops happening, right? So you have two options to scale on 0-day expirations, right? At the whole psychological numbers or at the big candle pops, right? Big price action candles. And what ends up happening on this trade is they literally are the same thing, because at the 396, at the 346 pop, you have a big strong candle pop. At the 347, big strong candle pop. At the 348, big strong candle pop. So that's why you can honestly pick one or the other, right? I do both because technically they always most of the time align. So yeah, I mean, I'm like dropping sauce right now. So I'm dropping sauce right now. But anyways, yeah. That is pretty much a trade recap. I think I pretty much went over what I was looking at, what I saw. Tesla, very nice live on Tesla as well, right? The context as well, the QQ, the confluence is a beautiful trade, right? But Apple, in my opinion, was even a better trade than Tesla, right? In my opinion, this was even a better trade. This was straight relative strength than Apple. Straight relative strength, right? I feel like the first 10 minutes of market open, you can see Apple has relative strength, right? Especially this retest of this zone I have marked out here, which is our previous high level plus pre-market high plus 5 range high, right? We have all these confluences stacking up here. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, it's a very nice trade, right? And if you miss the entry on this retest, right, you could enter up here. But I don't know, bro. I missed this trade, I'm not gonna lie, and I was really bummed down. This trade, I mean, this day, I was gonna end up not taking a trade today, right? But Tesla actually ended up ditching relative strength at 9:30, and they ended up being a nice, really nice trade off that. Like, literally insane entry on this trade. Insane entry, insane delivery, and insane call out. Like, the call out is literally insane. Like look at this shit. Like, 9:34, right? 9:34 Tesla calls on watch, right? And right when you get the cancel confirmation, and Tesla calls 1 minute later, and then you get a 260% rip to the upside. Like, like, absolutely fucking insane. And guys, don't even get me started. This week has been very solid, right? Very solid week. Apple, right? Even Apple as well. Very nice move. And I've been noticing Apple's been showing momentum, right? Yesterday, Apple was showing momentum as well. So as you guys can kind of see, there are gonna be certain weeks where you're gonna be playing certain names over and over and over again, because you want to be playing their relative strength. You want to be playing the momentum that the name shows, right? So Apple was showing relative strength yesterday, and they're also showing relative strength today, right? Unfortunately, today I was not prepared for Apple, right? But Apple was also a really good opportunity to capitalize on, right? So yeah, then SpaceX also on Monday as well. So I mean, just bangers back to back to back. I mean, like, this is just just absolutely solid days. And I'm not doing anything crazy. Right? I'm just being patient, letting my system play out. That's literally all I'm doing, right? But yeah, I think I pretty much went over everything, right? I think I dropped a lot of value, maybe too much value in my opinion. I know I talked really fast, but unfortunately, that's just how I am. I'm not gonna talk slower. That's just guys. There's gonna be some trade-offs, right? There's no such thing as a normal profitable trader, right? Every profitable trader I know is literally insane, right? We all have ADHD. We're all we all have something cuckoo, right? For me, I talk really fast. That's just how it is, Maybe some other things, I don't know, but yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any questions, join the Discord down below. Otherwise, do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, do all of that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.